Hello everyone, hope everybody is really fine and it's a beautiful day here in Australia. I welcome everybody and thank you very much for your comments, for new subscribers, people just looking, not subscribing, that's also very beautiful. So to get back into this journal that I endeavor to finish by now, because I have to allocate my focus on something else. So here I recapture what I have on the level of embellishments. What I made here, I assembled here a few envelopes, and I stick to the theme of roses, and I cut out these envelopes. It's on ordinary copying paper, and I gave them a coat of glue to make it a little bit sturdier, because they're gonna hold ephemera type of things in here. And I have 5 so far. I'm not sure if I need 5 or just 4 for what I'm planning. And other than that, I have here some leftovers of these little ephemera or embellishments that are in my kit, part of my kit. Also these fans. I have an assortment here left over to decorate. And then also I have my tags to decorate with. So today I'm working on making pockets and side pockets, belly bands, all that kind of things to allocate these tags. Apart from these bits here, I have made some other aside. These are in preparation, so I'm thinking that they will make like side spots, or I don't know yet whether I will leave this like this or on the paper. Here is another one, a collage. With this one, I don't know if you can see it, I did put a few golden lines here on her crown and this crown next to her. And while doing these few lines, this is just a leftover, but I was full covered with the ink of one of those stupid gold pens that you can buy, and they just are terrible. And then I have started with these two, and I will show you then when I finish with these. It's gonna be the double-sided clip-on with the paper clip. I made these long times ago, but they became very popular lately, so I just will link you to where I made my first one, which was actually, my goodness, such a long time. It was when Rachel had her birthday, Rachel from Roxy Creations, and I contributed with a page to her birthday, and I made a double-sided paper clip-on, and I link you to that, the way I made it, or I changed my technique as well, and there are so many techniques now lately on how to do that. But what I would like to show you with these, and I will put these ones aside, is how I hand painted these. I don't even know what you call it in English. In German I call them Schnörkel. And ever since I made this, I started to practice hand drawing these Schnörkels, and I show you a little bit how I do that. I practice nearly every day. I practice my lines, because the more you practice, the better your lines get. So I would really like to encourage you to do these lines frequently, and every day you do it, it goes better. Like, see, this is this clumsy one that I still used here, and then every time I do it, it's getting better. I don't know where all my other ones gone. This is my kind of my book where I collect hand drawing and also writings. So this is my journal for practicing everything that's done by hand. Then I have to come to my new book and see how I make smaller ones, bigger ones, practice over and over. Here I outlined it with a brush. That's these ones. And with watercolor. And that's not the easiest to use the brushes. I might show you one. And then I also outline scribbles for line making. It's imaginary Chinese writing. And the other day, you know, like, you're not supposed to copy from, like this is from the internet, but you have to be very careful that you print out these lines that are not copyright on it. So you have to go to a site that is public domain, and then you can practice copying, and that's very helpful in the beginning. But I would like to advance to a stage where I free draw these out of my mind, and to get there I came across a really interesting bit. The other day I was invited at a party, and it was a garden party, and I might take the dark paper, you can see it better. And I was sitting next to a branch. It was a beautiful setting. We were up on the first floor, so all the trees and bushes were, you know, on our level of our eyes and our veranda, and I had these plants next to me. It was a little bit a sad party because it was a wake from a very good friend of ours, and I started picking the dried off little branches from one of the bushes that was just right next to me, and totally, you know, forgot my presence here, and I just peeled off these little fibers that these little branches have. And I don't know if it still works, because yeah, see, when you peel this off, it makes these swirly bits. But because they are dried out now a little bit, they don't curl so very good anymore as they did when these branches were a little bit more fresh. So lucky I took these ones home as well. I hope you can see this. I don't dare to lift it up closer because it often, the camera loses the focus. So I have these swirls, and they are everyone unique. This is your personal image that you can then use. And I practiced drawing these here, and I show you how easy it is. Like, you just put maybe this one here now, and you do the big one, and then you follow the line, and then this one is a smaller line, goes something like this, and then you can go over it, because see how some of these lines are thicker, so you can shade it a little bit. Others have a light one, so you can leave that open. Some have these little bits here, that makes it interesting. And then here it has a little stem. And if you wish, you can, like I like to add a bit, a touch of red, just because I have these in red. And of course I did this with watercolor, and then I took a black one of these and drew the contour around it. Here is more, a little bit of black. So like that you can. I recommend this practice very, very strongly. I think there is nothing like a personal touch to your journaling. And especially to follow your line takes a lot of skill, but don't be discouraged, because skill improves with practice. And 5 minutes a day will do. My recommendation. And so we can go on the floor. So these are my other embellishments. I will go ahead and do now the clip. So here is my paper clip, the double paper clip. I don't know if it got a name or not. And while I was doing it, I thought I make your attention, I give it a bit of attention. I left this paper clip up a little bit further so you can actually see it, because I remember when Rachel opened my contribution, she had a look and said, "Oh, I can see something silver here, it must be one of those double-sided paper clips." So it gives it away whether there is something up on the page. And it just looks a bit interesting as well. The other thing that I thought I share with you was my little mistake. I went ahead and very quickly grabbed the first semi-cardboard type of paper that I had available, and then of course on the side it was white. Now that doesn't matter, of course, if you have a light colored decoration for your clip, but I went over it and I painted it black with a felt pen. And then the other thing that I thought I share with you is down here I put a bit of I cut the cardboard about here at this length, and the rest I put a clear sticky tape over it, so when you frequently go over the page, so it will not, you know, stop it by the paper, or, you know, work up the glue on between the little cardboard and your top, but it will always go in very smooth because there is a bit of a sticky tape there. And another very important share that I have is when you glue this and you want to go in between, or glue it once more, just something happens, do not open this further than this. Just it has a little bit of a spring, but don't force it open any further than this spring, because you can't get the paper clip back together anymore to hold firmly on just a piece of paper. And then, of course, my next embellishments, I have these little flags that I made, and you remember them, of course, we did it together. And I have another share here, a little mistake that I made, not thinking properly ahead, and that is, I thought I will be able to clip it on the side of the paper, but because I have the lace here, that's not quite feasible. So yeah, thinking a bit forward does help, but I will put it on other bits and pieces that I will make, like for example, I have one clip that goes this way. That's another thing I forgot to watch, is which side, how the paperclip faces. And so I only got one that faces here that I can add to the page like this. So I imagined, see, once they're done, they're hard to correct. And I thought something like this I can add then to the page, which also looks very nice. It does not have to be on the, oops, here we are better in focus. So it cannot always be from the side of the page, but it also can be somewhere here, or an envelope, or a belly band, or just something. I will find the spots, but it was just a good share what to look out for. Where did this come from? This is another piece that I want to use for embellishment. Come to that later. So I got these little flag things, and then I got these ones, and I went ahead, and these four are now finalized. Like, if you remember, I only had this white bit in the beginning, so I put them on one of these papers that I made, painted and stamping and all kinds of stuff. And this then can sit on a page and be glued like this, and it can be a side pocket, it can be a top pocket, it can be many things. So they are ready to put in the journal. And then I have these four little bits here. They are ready to be used, much like this collage. It's a little assemblage, really, assembled collage. And they can be used onto an embellishment. That's a little leftover. And here I am working on this. I thought it's going to be a side pocket or something. I'm sure I want to have these two paintings here, and maybe just a fan, or maybe two fan here in the middle. So this is another leftover here. And then it can be on the side of a page and also used as a side pocket or just an embellishment. So now I want to continue with these 4 because I have a bit of an better idea what to do with these. Put this aside and get my book here. These 4 will come on this side. These are these gorgeous little things. Also, I didn't like this page here, so I already glued more of my painted paper over it. And I imagine to put here, cut it here, and have these 2 like here, and I make 2 side pockets for some of the envelopes. So this will be like this. And to do this, I thought I will back it with a piece of paper, cut it here, because of course it cannot be that wide, otherwise I can't get my envelope in here. So I would like to put, not this, but just another piece of paper. I put it here, and I would like to stitch these pockets. So I will stitch my spotlight. So I will stitch here, down here, I will stitch in here and back, will stitch down again and stitch like this. So that then, you imagine, I will show once I stitched it, then with this insert here, the envelope will sit in here, and this part here can be glued down onto the book, so only the openings are open and you can see the sewing. So I go and do that now. So I cut 2 not too cardboardish, 150 GSM bits of pieces, and they will be the backing for my pocket. But having learned from that paper clip that I made, I will ink it right now, so if you just see a bit of it, it's not gonna shine like just white. It will be a bit more. It doesn't have to be on the side, just here where you are likely to see into these pockets. Okay. Same with this one, of course. There. And that's the one that goes on the back, and that's the one here in the front. So now I just have to determine the middle. Well, one determines the middle by, I think I do it here. So here is the middle, so when I do the sewing, I know here is that pocket that will come in, and this will sit here. I did the sewing around of these pockets here. I could cut this white strip a bit off, or you just could ink it to make it disappear. There. Okay, I did that before. So I'm gonna glue these two bits here, and I might glue this down first. So this will take a lot of glue. I am in the spotlight. There. Around these stitches is where it's gonna hold really good. But I think that's enough glue. Glue this down. Of course you could smear the glue a bit around, but I know this will hold fine. And then I glue these two collages on it. Onto it. And while I'm gluing, I finally have time to talk to you about that, what I mentioned last time, that I was so busy lately and I didn't want to talk about what was going on, because what it was is I had my property on the market, and of course, because I'm not in a city, I'm remote, I have a very artistic, alternate way of living and arranging things. And I had to wait. I knew, lucky me, I was not in a hurry to sell, and I just waited and waited. And end of October, I had, of course, 2 offers at once, but one was just the perfect one. The other one would have been also very good. It's just so amazing. But I did receive one offer that I accepted. And then, of course, you have to wait until settlement. But because these people were so keen, they so loved what I did here. It was just the absolutely rightest people. And they went ahead straight away within 2 weeks now, and we settled. So I'm so relieved, you can imagine. So these are glued down now. So I got here these 2 envelopes, these lovely roses, and they will sit in here. And here. And then I will glue down this side pocket. It's a side pocket, I decided. So I now will glue down these bits here. But of course, just because settlement is over doesn't mean that I will have more time. Quite in the contrary, because now I have to pack, I have to organize removal lists, I have to make really sure I know where I would like to go. And actually, you won't believe it, I so love Australia on one hand, but on the other hand, things are such that I'm just longing to go home to Europe. And I think I will. Well, that decision is not 100% yet. But I think I will. And of course I will let you know as soon as I know details. Oh my God, it's gonna be such a big busy affair to pack up and all that. Well, I glued this down, so I can actually glue down on the side here. As you can see, I just did it on a piece of cardboard, whatever I had just on hand. I'm gonna glue that here. And on the back page, same as here, I already glued down here. I made the pockets, glued them down, and then these gorgeous envelopes will go and sit in here. But I will put them in later, because what I have to do now is, of course, put them under some books so the glue will settle at the right place, and here too. So having done all that, and I'm so glad I finally could share this wonderful news for me with you, and with that I say goodbye for today, and as always wish all of you all the best. May your dreams also come true as you wish them to be, whatever they are. And I must hurry to get the books and hold these down, so I just say bye bye now.